certain strategy in mind. They're not just playing their game as kind of we saw SK Telecom 2 on playing on their first day. They really turned it around on the second day. They took CJ a little bit more seriously, and they came ahead with the victory.
Yep. Dark over here, 4-2, 4-1, 1-0 versus Protoss. Of course, this is only his regular season stats, not his postseason stats, but some pretty impressive stats nonetheless, and he has done very well for his team, coming out first every time. And here's Hush, someone we did not see play yesterday, although I was expecting him to come out. May have been a mistake. I mean, look at this win rate, 6-1.
He's 6-1, 4 of those wins being against Protoss. He has 0 losses here in Pro League against Protoss. He came as well towards the end of Pro League. He wasn't playing too much in the beginning, so he's really one of these newer guys, really showing his PvP prowess, and I really want to see how he does against a Zerg player now. His
only loss was against a Zerg. He's won against one Zerg player as well. He's 1-1 in the matchup. Now matching up against Dark here, his first opponent. It's not going to be a PvP, but he could potentially bring it home. It's time, guys. It's the final day here. Game number 3 between these two teams. Decide who's going to the finals. Let's jump into set number 1 between Dark and Hush.
Up here in the top right, in the orange for SK Telecom, the Zerg player, it's Dark.
And over here to the left side of the map, in yellow for CJ Antis, it's Hush, the PvP master. And it is, in fact, very dark outside today. It's rainy.
Yeah. It was actually, I don't know what it is about the rain, but when it rains here in Korea, it gets so traffic heavy. And I take the bus here from the north. It usually takes about 40 to 50 minutes. Today it took me 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Delays. Rain delays always a bit annoying. It didn't actually start raining, at least not here in Shinonyeon, until right around the time you arrived.
Yeah, it was raining a bit in the north, like before I started coming down, so I guess that made it worse.
I saw some pro gamers tweeting that it was raining in Incheon as well, so it seems to be a bit of a rainy day all throughout Seoul, so we'll see. Rain will be playing a little bit later on Outboxer against Byung.
And for which team will it be a rainy day instead of a sunny, happy day after they lose?
That's the question, man. So, it's like a gas first here, in fact, coming out from Dark. Interesting build to do versus a Protoss on this map.
Yeah. It's going to be useful to get that speed as soon as possible, literally when that pool comes up.
I really feel like CJ, like you were talking about earlier, has played the more specific builds for the maps each and every day, playing builds that are sniper-oriented, builds that are very much focused to counter an opponent rather than relying on their skill alone. And I think it's a smart choice considering that their opponents are better world-class players in general. Their results in the individual leagues, their results in Pro League thus far, you know, getting first place, getting into the playoffs every single time, except round 2. Just looking like the much stronger players overall. So I feel like the choice to actually go for this type of play is really intelligent. But in this particular game, we see just a blind Nexus first into a gateway, then a probe scout, whereas Dark is taking a super aggressive gas build here. He's going to rush Zergling speed out even before he starts a hatchery.
Yeah. Funnily enough, the SKT player doing this specific build, the thing about this is Hush is going to see it. He's going to know.
Yeah, now he's going to be really shocked, you know?
Yeah.
And now he has to basically hurry up and get a wall set, or else he's going to have a big problem on his hands. He doesn't have a forge, and he can just stream a ton of speedlings out here, especially once the first larva injects start to hit. He's already making 6 lings right now. And with those, he will be able to come across the map. There's no wall set. He's just now starting his core in his first Zealot. His mothership core is a ways away as well. At these positions, you know, on this map, it's not actually that far of a rush. He's just making straight Zerglings. And I think he might just go straight for the Nexus here. Once he eliminates the Zealot, he's going to have a big problem on his hands.
I think he will be able to. There's no wall here. It's too late. He's going to try to make it now, but he's going to be blocked. Probe is going to go by and make that pylon.
All right, runs past the Zealot here. No kills on the Zealot. Not quite quick enough to catch up with those speedy Zerglings. They're not super speedy just yet until they get that Zergling speed. One Ling does get caught by the probes.
Yeah. Speed is about to finish, and he's only making links here. He's going very, very aggressive with this one.
Yeah.
Going to try to do as much damage as possible. He's really committing here.
I was going to start poking at this pylon a little bit. You can eliminate that. It just makes it that much tougher to wall. Also microing his small individual groups as Zerlings here, kills another probe, runs away. And he has to do a lot of damage with this, obviously, because he's insanely drone light at only 14 workers here. There's a small attempt to wall here, but the pylon is down. Mothership Core helping out a lot. He won't be able to kill that, so he needs to avoid it. And now with 2 Zealots out, he killed a lot of those Zerlings. It's really huge. But he's going to attack the main base now. More Chrono Boost being used right now on that 3rd Zealot. He's trying to get a 2nd gateway up at the wall, but it's not tight because the pylon isn't ready.
And there are a ton of Lings actually in the base right now. This is going to be so annoying to deal with, really picking at those Zealots. He's going to have to be really, really careful there in the mineral line. He does catch 1 Zealot, very nicely done by Dark.
And notice that he is droning up at home, 6 drones on the way. So he's actually already even the worker count up, and is just going to continue to try to pick off structures, pick off pylons, keep this wall from being completed.
Oh man, he even kills that 1 probe down there at the bottom of the ramp, so that 1 extra building that he needed to make that wall is not going to be up, and he could start picking away at that wall if he wanted to as well.
Yeah, he wants to keep the Mothership Core in the main base. He wants to force the Nexus Cannon to be used here, if he can, so that he can actually kill the natural. If the Nexus Cannon should go down on the natural, that's actually going to be pretty good for Hush, because he's going to be able to eventually defend his wall. But look at that, unpowered again. Going to kill another probe. Looks like Hush is a bit, flabbergasted here. He's not actually confident enough to use his Nexus Cannon on either location. He needs to use it now. I think he's starting to get really low on that Nexus. If he loses the Nexus with all the probes that he's lost, as well as Dark's Hatch, I mean, it's too late now. He's just going to lose this.
He's going to lose the Nexus. He doesn't have that 2nd gateway. Cybernetics Core.
GG.
He just calls GG. Oh my god. What a quick game.
Dark, damn. Whoa. Slow down there, man.
That was crazy. That's not a build we see anymore. And that's why it just caught Hush off guard so badly. He was just so flabbergasted, like you said, and he went Nexus first, man. He was way behind.
Super late, wall. Obviously, he did the most greedy build blind without a probe scout. He went Nexus, Gate, Core, very, very late on everything. And with no wall there and these positions, the rest of this on this map, no matter which position you spawn, it's symmetrical rotationally. And no matter which way you spawn, the Lings are going to be able to get there really fast. So I just feel like it was a little bit greedy, and it was kind of a blind counter here. Even after he scouted it, since he scouted so late, it's very difficult for him to actually respond. He might have wanted to stop all production of everything to hurry out a wall, but even if he does that, he doesn't have a forge, but cannons behind it, so he doesn't have any zealots. It probably wouldn't have worked.
No Stalker. The Stalker was really late as well because the Cybernetics Core was so late.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost a lose-lose situation. Sure, there were other things he could have done better. Maybe sacrifice a little bit of money to try to keep his early trapped in one location. Maybe put the Nexus Cannon the natural a little bit faster and pull some probes down to try to save it. But the way it ended up there, just Hush not confident enough to deal with that situation, and very late scout. And SKT takes an early lead here.
Yeah, that was like one of the fastest games we've ever had. That was insane.
Yeah.
That was like literally 6 minutes.